Hi, I'm Khrystyne. I live here in this one-bedroom apartment with my 2 kids and my husband. It's about 700 square feet, depending on who's measuring. We kind of just stumbled into this one. It is a 1-bedroom, and we instantly fell in love with it and started thinking, how could we make this work for our soon-to-be family of 4? So when we decided to buy this apartment, it was 1 bedroom, and we realized the biggest hurdle that we'd have to overcome is, where is everyone gonna sleep? So from the very beginning, I knew we were gonna have to do a Murphy bed. We decided to give the kids the bedroom and to move our space out here. When they go to bed, we needed a space where we could close the door and have it be quiet, and we could still go about our lives and work and clean and talk and hang out. When we were choosing this Murphy bed, it's from Breda Beds. I wanted one that apartment dwellers use versus someone who maybe has one in a guest room where it's more clunky and heavy and they don't really use it that often. Having reviews of people who use it daily was really important when I chose it. So as we realized that this room had to function in so many ways and is just kind of a big square, the way we were able to solve that was, okay, these are different quadrants that we have in the room, and this can be like our dining and our office space, and this is our bedroom space, this is our family workspace, and just creating those quadrants kind of helps the room flow and make sense. I don't know, I always think of a small space kind of like a Rubik's Cube. Like you twist it and you think you've got one side figured out, but it messes up the other side, and you just have to be really flexible. I recently got this poof, and it's amazing because I have all of our extra coats and blankets and winter clothes in it. So I love a good piece of furniture that's functional and can do different things without you realizing it's doing that. We want to really prioritize experiences or things that we as a family can enjoy together versus having all these extra toys that are coming into the home. So I grew up playing the piano. My dad plays the piano, and we really wanted our kids to learn. We asked people, if you're doing a birthday gift, would you consider pitching in and we can get this piano for the kids? And so this is a birthday gift that they had a couple years ago. Again, it's not the best use of space, but it reflects things that are special to our family and values our family has. It's crazy when I look back at pictures because this room has looked totally different, and I just love that. And I love that about small spaces, is that what you have now could be perfect, but then it's gonna morph and my kids are gonna grow, and it's gonna have to completely change to suit them and to meet what they need. And for us in this season, a big thing that we wanted and my husband really advocated was a lot of floor space, because he comes home and their time they spend together is playing. They build and make train tracks and Legos, like that's like their time. So I just had this crazy idea to layer rugs on top of each other that we already had. And I honestly love it. My family is Afghan, and so it kind of reminds me Arabian Nights, it's just that vibe of carpets flying and imagining and creating. And so I think it just kind of has this boho energy. I am a teacher, my husband's in education, and we love books. And so that was the 2 things, was we have to prioritize floor space and we have to prioritize books and shelves for books. And so these are a mix. So we customized the shelves, and I wanted this one to be long and low so the kids could just crawl up and grab their books because they were so small when we moved in. And then as it goes up, there's a mixture of books from my childhood that I love, books that my husband loves. These ones are more of just books that make us happy. So I found this bed from IKEA. It had the best price point, and it met all of the different things that I was looking for, including ease of shipping and delivering and all of that. And then it ended up being a great space saver because I just got these, again, IKEA. And so we gained a lot of storage space in our closets when we moved to this bunk bed because we were able to put stuff underneath. So this dresser is actually my childhood dresser, which is so sweet, but also so hard because I'm eventually it's not gonna work and I'm gonna have to part ways, and that'll be a little bit hard, but for now it works. So the kids have all the drawers. So this one I keep I have a box with all like their underwear, and then I have their pajamas, and then we use this open storage. I think sometimes with open storage, it can just feel very cluttered and very full very fast. And so a rule that I've kind of just created for myself that really helps is like a watermark. So if things are above it, it needs to kind of go below, and it makes it go from feeling like full and overly too much to like you can't even notice it or see it. And so it helps with just the visual clutter, but it also just helps with like mental parameters of, okay, all of their stuff is coming out. That means we need to get rid of something. Like there's too much. It kind of just creates a good barrier around the possession that is going in it, and makes it easier for you to make those discernment calls of, we have too much of this. We need to kind of decide what needs to move on. We're very, very intentional with the kinds of toys we have, and making sure that they can be used in different ways, so it's not just one type of play. I'm an early elementary education teacher, so I knew very early on I wanted toys that were more open-ended and weren't just, they were locked into one type of play when they used it. So we have like Magnetiles and Legos, more like figurine type toys. They're train tracks, blocks, and then this is just like an assortment of magnet animals and trucks and different things that kind of gets rotated. So we love to treasure hunt, and so they always get to pick a couple stones and bring it home. And I have this Mancala board from when I lived in Guam. It just reminds me that they'll make room for imagining and creating with anything around them. And I feel really passionate about surrounding kids with beautiful things that they can imagine with while they play. And I can see that in my kids. Their love for beautiful things and their love to be surrounded by beautiful things is really evident. So when we walked into this apartment and I saw this kitchen, it was like my dream kitchen, which is so funny because it's like you see people's dream kitchens and it's like, this is not what a dream kitchen usually looks like. But we were coming from a super narrow galley kitchen, and I just couldn't get over how wide the space was and then how wide and long the counter was. And the funny thing is that half of the cabinets are like kitchen things and half are not, and I think that's probably really normal. And so I realized I can make one of these cabinets into like an art cabinet for them. And a lot of times when I'm cooking, they'll come and get art stuff out and lay on the ground next to me and create and color. So the kids can do homework here. Sometimes they'll draw and do arts and crafts. We also really wanted it to be a place where we're maximizing the wall. And so we have the mugs hanging up so that that's functional, but also it's fun to have the mugs out and displayed. My brother actually made this for us to hang glasses. We've had this here forever, but trying to find something for this little spot was a little tricky. I happened to find this little shoe storage nook on Wayfair, and it happened to be the perfect dimensions to fit right here. Coming into this apartment, I think the biggest shock to my system was we downsized on closet space, which can be very overwhelming when you're trying to put things in the closet and you don't have space for it suddenly. Another challenge is these are our two hallway closets, and the shelving was already installed. I think our closet is a really good example of sometimes you have to just work with what you have, and then once you develop that system, you can kind of see better of, okay, this is actually really not going to work, and here's where we really need to prioritize. And so I feel like the closet definitely can be more functional, but for the time being, it works. Our bathroom is so small, but we were able to choose a vanity that was a smaller footprint, so it was a lot more narrow. We've also done a lot of open shelving so that we can just have little baskets for things. A healthy home, whether you have kids or not, is knowing what brings you joy and making space for it. It doesn't matter if you have a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom or a mansion, we all have this ability to make space for the things that matter to us. And I think the first step is finding what is it that matters to me. Is it hosting and having friends over? Is it cooking together? Is it having a play space for our kids to play together? Whatever that is, find that first, and then your brain will help you find a way to make it possible no matter what your space looks like or how big it is.